I'm going to be playing my Beorning deck against the 7th level, a quest in the Khazad-dûm expansion. And a Beorning deck has weak willpower. So to be able to show off its strengths, I'm going to be playing it 2-player with the Elves starter deck. The heroes for the Beorning deck are Beorn. He's a 12 threat tactics hero. 0, 5, 1, 10. Beorning warrior. Sentinel. Can't have attachments. Immune to player card effects. Beorn does not exhaust to defend. Got Grim Beorn the Old, Beorn's grandson. 11 threat tactics hero. 0, 3, 3, 5. Beorning warrior. Sentinel. Response. After Grim Beorn the Old defends an enemy attack, spend 1 resource from his pool to declare him as an attacker against that enemy and resolve his attack. The defending enemy gets -2 defense for this attack. And the third hero is Aspura. She's a 10 threat lore hero. 2, 1, 2, 5. Beorning. Reduce the total threat in the staging area by 1 for each damaged Beorning character you control. Limit 5. Response. After you engage an enemy, spend 1 resource from Aspura's pool to flip her over. And the Elf starter deck has Galadriel. She's a 9 threat spirit hero. 4004. Nordal Noble. Galadriel cannot quest, attack, or defend. Allies you control do not exhaust to commit to the quest during the round they enter play. Action. Exhaust Galadriel to choose a player. That player reduces their threat by 1 and draws 1 card. Limit once per round. Then we have Elves of Lorien. He's a 9 threat lore hero. 2, 3, 1, 3. Ranged. Sylvan Ranger Scout. Combat action. If you have not engaged an enemy this round, exhaust Elves of Lorien to declare him as an attacker and resolve his attack against an enemy not engaged with you. Limit once per round. And the third hero is Calibor. 11 threat leadership hero. 3, 2, 2, 4. Sylvan Noble. Response. After a Sylvan ally enters play, that ally gets +1 willpower, attack, and defense until the end of the round. So the starting threat for the Sylvan deck is 29. And the Beorning deck is 33. Draw our opening hands. Beorning Skin Changer, Beorning Beekeeper, Honor Guard, Raven of War, and a Descendant of Beorn. I'll keep this hand. Got Orphan, Host of the Galadriel, Sylvan Tracker, Orphan, Defender of the Nace, and Galadriel's Handmaiden. We're going to take a mulligan. Yes, we got a Lorien, Galadriel Minstrel, Henemar's River Song, Gandalf, Orphan, and Elrond's Council. But Lorien's the card I was looking for. Reduce my Sylvans by 1. "1A, search the chambers. Search the encounter deck for Book of Mazabal and have the first player attach it to a hero of his choice. Shuffle the encounter deck." Here's the Book of Mazabal. It's an item, artifact, restricted. Exhaust a hero to claim its objective. Then attach Book of Mazabal to that hero. If detached, return Book of Mazabal to the staging area. Attached hero cannot attack and does not exhaust to commit to a quest. We're going to attach it to Celeborn. "1B, search the chamber. Search for the chamber. 15 quest points. When revealed, reveal 1 encounter card per player and add it to the staging area." We've got Upper Halls, Doom 2. And Orc Hornblower. Surge and reveal 1 encounter card. So reveal 1 encounter card, a Plundered Armory, and Surge, a Watchful Eyes. The first player attaches Watchful Eyes to one of his heroes. Counts as a condition attachment with the text. Limit 1 per hero. Forced. If attached hero is exhausted at the end of the combat phase, reveal 1 card from the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. We're going to attach it to Aspera. Okay, so that was a total of 8 threat in the staging area. Draw a card. Sacred of Spears. We're going to put out a Beorning Skin Changer into play. Going over to the Sylvan deck, draw a card, Orphan. We're going to put a Lorien onto Celeborn. And now we're going to exhaust Lorien. Reduce the cost of the next Sylvan ally by 1. And then we're going to put in the Galadriel Minstrel. After Galadriel Minstrel enters play, search the top 5 cards of my deck for an event and put it into my hand. Shuffle my deck. I got a the tree people. I'm going to reduce my threat by 1 and draw a card. Galadriel's ability. Now we're going to go into the questing phase. We're going to quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're questing for 7, and there's 8 in the staging area. We're actually going to quest for 8. It's a skin changer. And we reveal a Goblin Scout and a Goblin Swordsman. So we quested unsuccessfully by 4. Now we're going to travel to the plundered armory. We're going to optionally engage the orc hornblower. And then the Goblin Scout comes down naturally, and then the Goblin Swordsman comes down to the Sylvan deck. And we're going to spend 1 resource from a spread to flip her over. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the Bellowing Orc with Beorn. Gets +1. So we take 1 damage. We're going to block the Goblin Scout with Beorn. No shadow, no damage. We're going to block the Goblin Swordsman with Beorn. 2 damage, but we're going to deal 1 damage to the skin changer using a Spirit's response to cancel 2 damage. Now we can attack back. Beorn's going to attack back and destroy the Goblin Scout. And the Sylvan, so the Haldir of Lorien and the Galadriel Minstrel are going to attack and destroy the Goblin Swordsman. Go to the next round. Oh, we're in Valor. Draw a card. Nace Guide. Actually, I couldn't have destroyed this guy because he was exhausted. But we did attack and deal him. Oh. So he's still there. We weren't able to deal him any damage. We are going to play a Tree People. I'll return this to my hand and search the top 5 cards of our deck for a Sylvan ally and put it into play. We got a Sylvan Refugee. Great. Probably the least effective card I could have gotten was the Tree People. As soon as I do my tricks, it's going to get discarded. We're going to put the Galadriel Minstrel into play, exhausting Lorien. Search the top 5 cards of our deck for an event. Got Zeron's Ruins. Play a Duran's Ruins, draw 2 cards. Nace Guide and a Greenwood Archer. We have 2 orphans, so we're going to get rid of and discard an orphan. Now we're going to go over to the Beorning deck, draw a card. We're going to use Galadriel's ability to have the Beorning deck draw a card and reduce the threat by 1. We're going to put a Honor Guard into play. Now we're going to quest for 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Seven, 8, 9. So we're going to quest for 9 because both of these characters have the bonus and don't exhaust. And there's a total of 3 in the staging area. First card is a Goblin Swordsman. Second card is another Goblin Swordsman. So we added 2, so it brings it up to 5. So we quest successfully by 4. That clears the the plundered armory and puts 2 progress onto the main quest. And after plundered armory leaves play as an explored location, each player may attach a weapon or armor attachment from his hand to a character he controls. We're going to attach the Raiment of War to Beorning. Gives him +1 attack, +1 defense, and +2 hit points. We have no weapon or armor attachments in the Sylvan deck. Now we're going to travel to the upper hall, and we're going to optionally engage the Goblin Swordsman with the Beorning deck, and then the Goblin Swordsman comes and engages the Sylvan deck. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block with Calibor. No shadow. Takes 1 damage. We're going to block with the Horn Blower with Beorn. It's not an ally, so no shadow, no damage. We're going to block the... Oh, we had to block this thing first. We're blocking this with Beorn. No shadow, no damage, and we're going to attack back and destroy him with Beorn's ability. And then we're going to block the Swordsman with Beorn. No shadow, 2 damage. We're going to deal 1 damage to the Beorning Skin Changer to cancel that damage. And now we can attack back. We're going to attack with Haldir and destroy the... we're going to attack with... Haldir and destroy this. Attack with Beorn and destroy the Goblin Swordsman. And now we're going to go to the next round. Draw a card. Beorn's Rage. We're going to put another Honor Guard into play. And then we're going to exhaust Galadriel to have the Beorning deck draw a card and reduce her threat by 1. Keena's Lances. Going over to the Sylvan deck. Draw a card. Galadriel Minstrel. We're going to put a Nace Guide into play. We're going to exhaust the Lorien to reduce its cost by 1. And we're going to say that Haldir does not exhaust a quest. Now we're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there is no threat in the staging area. Cave Troll. And Goblin Tunnels. So we had a 6th threat. So we quested successfully by 5. That clears out the upper hall. We'll put 1 progress onto the main quest. Now we're going to play Elrond's Consul and reduce our threat by 3. And that adds another progress to the quest. Now we're going to optionally engage the Cave Troll with the Beorning deck. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to block the Hornblower with Beorn. Add Goblin Swordsman to the staging area. And no damage. Now we're going to block the Cave Troll with Beorn. Add the Goblin Spearman to the staging area. And it's attacking for 6, so we got 5 damage. We're going to cancel 2 with the Honor Guards. And then we're going to cancel 2 more with Adbura's Response. And so we only dealt 1 damage. Now we're going to attack back with Beorn for 5, Grim Beorn for 6, 7, 8, 9, and Haldir for 12 and destroy the Cave Troll. Go to the next round. Draw a card. Sylvan Tracker. I'm going to put a Sylvan Tracker into play, reducing its cost by 1 with the Lorien. Now we're going to put another Nace Guide into play. And we're going to pick Haldir so he doesn't exhaust the quest. So here on the right are the two characters that don't exhaust the quest and have the extra bonus. Go over to the Beorning deck, draw a card, Beorn's Welcome, use Galadriel's ability, Beorning deck to draw another card and reduce their threat by 1. We're going to put a Beorning's Welcome onto Grimbeorn. Play only if you control a Beorning hero. Attached to a hero, limit 1 per hero. After you spend any resources from attached hero's pool for a purpose other than playing a player card, exhaust Beorn's Welcome to add 1 resource to attached hero's pool. Now we're going to go into the questing phase. Going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there is a total of 5 in the staging area. First card is another cave troll. Second card is a Goblin Swordsman. So we have to remove 1 progress because of the Goblin Tunnels. And we added 5, so we're up to 10. So we made 4 progress. Now we're going to optionally engage the Cave Troll with the Beorning deck. So Goblin Swordsman goes to the Sylvan deck. Goblin Swordsman goes to the Beorning deck. And then a Goblin Spearman goes to the Sylvan deck. Deal out shadow cards. We ran out of shadow cards. We're going to block the Spearman with Calibor. No shadow, no damage. We're going to block the Goblin Swordsman with Beorn. To attack, we're going to deal 1 damage to Aspera to cancel that 2 damage. We're going to block the Hornblower with Beorn. No shadow, no damage. Now the Cave Troll's attacking. We're going to block the Cave Troll with Beorn. 6 attack. We're going to play a Beorn's Rage. After Beorn character is declared as an attacker or defender against an enemy, that enemy gets -2 attack and -2 defense until the end of the phase. So he's attacking for 4, and he's got 2 defense. So we're defending for 4. So he deals no damage, and then we're going to attack back, spend a resource, and then we exhaust the Beorning Welcome to get another resource back, and we're attacking for 4, and he has no defense, so he takes 4 damage. Now we're going to attack back with Aspera and Beorn for 8 and destroy the cave troll. And there is no, the counter deck is empty, so we don't have to do Watching Eyes effect. And then we're going to attack with Haldir and destroy the Goblin Swordsman. And go to the next round. Draw a card. Spear of a Citadel. We're going to exhaust Gladrill and have the Beorning deck draw a card and reduce their threat by 1. We're going to put a Gather Information into play. And we're going to put a Beorning Skin Changer into play. Sylvan deck, draw a card, test the will. We're going to put a Minstrel into play. Reducing the cost by 1. And we get to search the top 5 cards of our deck for an event and put it in our hand. We're going to put a Feigned Voices into our hand. Now we're going to quest. I'm going to quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're going to go towards gather information. And there's 2 in the staging area. First card is a Goblin Scout. Second card is another Goblin Tunnels. So we had to remove 1 progress, but there's no progress. So that added 5, so it brings it up to 7. Request successfully by 5, and that clears gather information. Now each deck can search their deck for a card and put it in their hand. We're going to put Brenna into our hand. A Sylvan deck, we're going to get out Nenya. Now we're going to travel to the Goblin Tunnel. And the Goblin Scout engages the Beorning deck. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to use Haldir's ability to snipe that Goblin Scout. Now we're going to block the Hornblower with Beorn. No shadow, no damage. We're going to block the Goblin Swordsman with Beorn. No shadow. We're going to exhaust both of the Honor Guards to cancel 2 damage. Then we're going to block the Goblin Spearman with Beorn. Add Goblin Swordsman to the staging area. And then we're going to attack back with Beorn and destroy the Goblin Spearman, and then exhaust Beorn's Welcome to get a resource. We're going to attack back with Beorn and destroy the Goblin Swordsman. And attack with Beorning Beekeeper and deal 1 damage to the Orc Hornblower. And go to the next round. Ready, heals up Calibor. Actually, Calibor never exhausted. Draw a card, Gandalf. We're going to put Nenya onto Galadriel. We're going to have the Beorning deck draw a card and reduce their threat by 1. Then we're going to play a Greenwood Archer into play, reducing its cost by 1, and ready up Galadriel. Now we're going to go over to the Beorning deck. We're going to put Brenna into play. She's a 3-cost tactics ally. 2013 Beorning. With an action, exhaust Brenna and spend 1 tactics resource to put a Beorning ally from your discard pile into play. At the end of the phase, if that ally is still in your deck or in your discard pile, shuffle it into your deck. Now we're going into the questing phase. We're going to quest for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and add Galadriel with Nenya to make it 18. And there is 3 in the staging area. First card is a Goblin Scout. Second card is a Undisturbed Bones. Each player must deal X damage to 1 ally he controls, where X is the number of allies he controls. Well, we're going to destroy the Sylvan Refugee. And over here, we have 4 allies. We're going to deal 4 damage to the Beorning Beekeeper. Then we're going to exhaust 2 honor guards, an honor guard to cancel 2 honor guards to cancel 2 damage. So we've only dealt 2 damage. So we added 3 to the staging area, bringing it up to 6. So we quest successfully by 10. That clears the Goblin Tunnels. But we did have to remove 1 progress because of the Goblin Tunnels in the staging area. Then we add 3 to bring it up to 9. We're going to travel to the other Goblin Tunnels. We're going to optionally engage the Goblin Swordsman with the Beorning deck, and then the Goblin Scout comes down naturally. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to use Haldir's ability to snipe and destroy the Goblin Scout. We're going to block the Hornblower with Beorn. No shadow, no damage. And we're going to block the Goblin Swordsman with Beorning. Add Goblin Swordsman to the staging area. Then we're going to attack back with Beorning to destroy the Goblin Swordsman. And attack with the Beorning Beekeeper. And deal 1 damage to the Hornblower. And go to the next round. Now we get to draw a card, a giant bear. I'm going to put in a Beorning pony. I discard the top 5 cards of my deck. Beorning Pony, Quick Strike, Horn's Cry, Golden Belt, and Brenna. Then you may spend 1 resource to add 1 of the cards discarded by this effect to your hand. I'm going to add the Golden Belt back to my hand, and that's going to go on to Beorning. Now we're going to go over to the Sylvan deck, draw a card. We're going to put a Orphan into play, reducing its cost by 1. And that returns a Sylvan Refugee to my hand. We're going to put in a Galadriel's Handmaiden into play. And we're going to reduce the threat of the Beorning deck by 1. Now we're going to put a Henemar's River Song into play. Now we're going to quest. We're going to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And there is 1 in the staging area. Goblin Swordsman. And an Upper Hall, Doom 2. So we added 4 to the staging area, bringing it up to 5. So we quest successfully by 14. That puts 7 onto the main quest and 7 7 on the active location, 7 onto the main quest, and we go to the next stage. "2A, the Fane of Balin. 2B, 17 quest points. When revealed, remove the Book of Mazabal from the game. At the end of the staging step, reveal the top X cards of the encounter deck, adding all enemies to the staging area. Discard the other revealed cards without resolving them. X is the number of players in the game. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game." We're going to travel to the upper halls. Now we're going to optionally engage Goblin Swordsman with the Beorning deck, and the other one deck comes down to it naturally. Deal out shadow cards. We're going to use Haldir's ability to snipe one of them. We're going to block the Hornblower with Beorn. Add the staging area. No damage. We're going to block the other one with Beorn. No shadow. 3 damage. We're going to cancel both the damage with the honor guards. Now we're going to attack back with Beorn and destroy the Goblin Swordsman. And now we're going to exhaust the River Song to look at the top card, and it's Watchful Eyes. And we're going to exhaust Galadriel to have the Beorning deck draw a card and reduce her threat by 1. Now we go to the next round, which I have a feeling is going to be the last one. Draw a card. Nace Guide. We're going to put a Nace Guide into play, reducing its cost by 1. And we're going to choose Elves of Lorien to not exhaust. Remember, we're going to play a planning action. We're going to play the Host of Galadriel. We're going to spend 4 resources and return each Sylvan ally you control to your hand. Then play each of those allies from your hand one at a time. So we're returning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 allies to our hand. Now we're putting the Sylvan Tracker back into play. The Henemar's River Song. The Galadriel's Handmaiden. We're going to reduce the spread of the Beorning deck by 1. Orphan. We're returning Orphan from our discard pile. We're going to put in a Nace Guide. Celeborn doesn't exhaust the quest. Another Nace Guide. Osberry doesn't exhaust the quest. Another Nace Guide. Grimbeorn doesn't exhaust the quest. I have no character ready. And then I'm going to put in Galadriel Minstrel. You get to search the top 5 cards of our deck for an event. No events. We're going to try it again with putting the other Minstrel into play. Well, we got Elrond's Console. And all these characters do not exhaust a quest. Going over to the Beorning deck. Draw a card. I'm going to put a Beorning Beekeeper into play. Now we're going to quest. So we quest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. And there's 1 in the staging area. First card is a Watchful Eyes. The first player attaches it to a hero. We're going to attach it to Haldir. And then the next card is a Upper Hall. Doom 2. That added 3 to the staging area. We're going to play Elrond's Console. Add 1 more willpower. And reduce our threat by 3. Then we're going to discard both the Beorning Beekeepers to deal 1 damage to each enemy in the staging area twice. So that destroys the Goblin Swordsman. And reduce our willpower by 2. Then we're going to exhaust Galadriel to have the Beorning deck, reduce our threat by 1. Draw a card. And now we quested successfully by 31. That puts 4 progress onto the active location and $27 progress onto the main quest, exploring it. So there's a win. It shows you the benefits of having a deck with willpower to help it out, which makes it pretty much unstoppable with dealing with enemies, and all those different tricks that you can